Pratt has motor neurone disease, and 3 years ago he invited us to follow his fight against the illness. Health correspondent Jamie Coulson has been filming with him ever since. He's recorded his battle to live as normal a life as possible with his wife and young daughter and raise awareness about this deadly disease.
It's 2014. At home, Ian Pratt is enjoying his birthday, but since 2012, birthdays have felt different. That's when he was diagnosed with motor neurone disease.
I was a young father, I had a beautiful daughter, a lovely wife, and I'm thinking, I want to see her grow up, I want to do all these things. I was just heartbroken because then, it was a confirmation that I had this wicked disease.
Ian, an Australian who'd settled in Yorkshire, had always been active and healthy. We started filming with him in the autumn of 2014. He wanted to go public about his illness and its effects on the people closest to him. 2 years after diagnosis, Ian's had to give up his job as an accountant. He finds it harder to walk, but his home has been adapted to help him move around. His illness is a mental as well as physical challenge.
To be fair, I probably don't really think about what's coming. I think about what's today offer and what am I doing today and how do we cope with getting through today. I don't sort of tend to think about how the disease will affect me in 2 years' time or 12 months because I think it's too destructive to do that to my mind as well, because it's hard enough to be positive, it's hard enough to stay positive every single day and to enjoy everything you've got, but I think if I sat down and thought about what was coming, then you would just want to end. Hey, what have you been doing?
That looks wonderful! What did you do today?
Ian and his wife Catherine have something else to keep them busy, their daughter Georgiana.
Yeah, Ralph? It's just being as normal as I can with her. We go for walks, she rides a bike, I ride my mobility scooter or ride my wheelchairs.
Catherine's having to combine work, being a mum and coping with Ian's illness.
I don't think about what's going to happen in the future. I know what's going to happen, but I don't want to think about it because I have Georgiana that needs to be looked after. I can't be crying in a corner somewhere all the time. If I think about it, that's what I'd be. I'd be a bucket in the corner crying.
And have you ever really thought much further down the line when Ian might not be here and thought about what that would be?
It would be a whole different world, and we have spoken about things afterwards. Yeah, no, we have spoken about when we're not here, or when he's not here. I'm going to be here, but yeah.
It's time for a hospital visit. Ian's seeing his consultant. He's started wearing a face mask at night to help him sleep.
It's been working pretty much in the main. I have it on most days and try to sort of average at least 5 hours or so.
Okay. So do you feel any better for it?
I do when I've had it on, definitely. I feel like I've got more energy than it's
Right.
Ian's noticed his symptoms are getting gradually worse.
How do you feel otherwise in terms of any
generally
change?
quite, yeah. I don't notice the daily change, but I notice at the end of a week that I haven't been able to do something or something different's happened.
It's a disease where cells within the nervous system called the motor neurons get injured and die, and they are the cells by which our brain controls our muscles and therefore all our movements. Ian has already had to face the fact that many muscles in his body have now been affected. I think it's been particularly difficult and distressing for Ian because of his young daughter, who is the apple of his eye, and he wants to be around to see her growing up.
Since his diagnosis, Ian's helped run an annual swim at the Isle of Wight, which has raised thousands of pounds for motor neurone research. It's a big night in Barnsley, the Pride of Barnsley Awards. Ian's been nominated for triumph over adversity.
The winner is Ian Pratt.
Ian's won. It's time to get his award.
It is motor neurone disease, it is terminal, I'm going to die. So please, go and look, find out for yourself And I just want to dedicate this award to my beautiful wife, Catherine, and my gorgeous daughter, Georgiana. Thank you.
I think it is very difficult emotionally, and I think Ian, is a kind of, my judgment anyway, is that he's a sensitive, emotional person.
For Ian, life's an emotional roller coaster, and Christmas feels more special than ever. Georgiana is the Virgin Mary in a school's nativity play.
I'm very proud, very proud. It was fabulous. It was just amazing to see. It's one of those things when I was diagnosed that I didn't think I'd get to see, so it's really special.
It's 6 months later and Ian's still fighting against his illness.
Probably since we saw you last, there's been a bit more progression in the disease. I'm finding it more difficult to move, to stand up and things now. And my voice I'm struggling a bit more with my voice.
Ian can't feed himself anymore, he can't use his hands to write, and typing on a computer has got harder.
To me, whilst I'm told it's slow, and I know mine's slow, it still feels very quick.
I can see him trying to do something and he can't, and then he'll have a list of items and he'll want me to go through what he can do, and it just gets very frustrating.
Ian's mum is over from Australia. It's a chance to catch up on news about family and friends.
When Ian was born, we used to travel backwards and forwards, and we had cattle around the place. Kids used to come and help us do whatever they had to do. Yeah, he was a good boy. I'm really, really proud of him for what he's done and what he's doing. And he'll keep that going for as long as he possibly can.
Doctors try to control Ian's symptoms, but there's no cure. He's back at the hospital for tests.
Right, so I'm going to pop the mask over your nose and your mouth and just ask you to breathe down nice and steadily. I'll hold it firmly in place for you, all right? So when you're...
He's having a test to check how his lungs are working.
And blow it out for me all the way. Keep it coming, 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 keep it coming. Squeeze, 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 squeeze all the way to the very end for me. Fantastic, well done. Smashing, well done. Have a rest. Okay.
Ian's lungs are working at 34% of their full capacity, only a slight drop from last time.
Hello.
Next, he's going to be weighed. Catherine lifts him across the room.
Ian? Yeah.
It's good news. He's put on weight.
58.85.
Oh,
Yes! Well...
it's encouraging to know that my breathing hasn't gone down significantly, so I'm roughly the same as what it was last time. My weight's come up, which is good. Generally, it's reasonably good news.
We're still on a mission, the weight still needs to come up a bit more, but it's actually quite nice that his breathing is still stable.
Morning, Ian.
A year's gone past. It's early morning and Ian is about to start his day. He needs 2 carers to help him get up.
Can you feel that, Ian? Pulling?
I feel like a puppet on a string, but because I follow my sensory nerves, I can feel everything that's going on. But there's a little bit of pain every now and again when you stretch some of the muscles backwards.
I've been with Ian now just over 2 years, and when we first started Ian, he was upstairs. He was able to come to a sitting position and physically walk to the bathroom. So he's deteriorated quite a lot in the last 12 months.
By now, 5 years have passed since his diagnosis. Ian's done well.
If you look at the average life expectancy from the first symptom, it's somewhere between 2 and 3 or 4 years probably, and Ian has exceeded that timescale already.
Whatever the future holds for Ian and his family, he's still fighting.
It's been challenging 5 years, but I think we just keep making the most of what we've got, and because lots of people don't get that opportunity with motor neurone disease.